Good morning and welcome to this week's HR Power Chat. Today we are joined by TCG Managing Director and Recruiting Services Division President, Nat Schiffer. Nat, thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, Laura. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
So, Nat, it's been a while since we last spoke, and with everything going on in the HR marketplace, can you share how TCG is helping clients in the human capital space and where you think HR is headed this year?
Absolutely. I'd love to. It's very clear to me that we're seeing unprecedented demand for human capital solutions across the board, and this demand is accelerating as we prepare to come back to work, that vaccinations are being distributed, and the economy is seeing a lot of stimulus from the federal government. To know where you're going, I think it's important to kind of set context to where we've been and how we got to where we are today. At last year, at the height of full employment, we were thrust into a COVID-19 response, and HR was really at the forefront of that with tackling issues like remote work, diversity, equity, inclusion, and engagement, social justice. And much of this responsibility, as I mentioned, came to roost in HR. Really quite unprecedented times when we were already in a full employment economy and the taxes on human resources and human capital solutions were already quite high. Fast forward to today, I see us in the eye of a perfect storm for the demand for human capital solutions. First, I would share that the value and the demand for HR is at an all-time high, not only for the reasons that I've just shared, but because we're ostensibly in a shortage and in a war for talent before all of these other issues have come to play, in the forces of supply and demand. Creating and compensating a more remote workforce, driving the right behaviors for that new normal and this more remote workforce that we are faced with is at the forefront of solutions that HR is addressing. Managerial effectiveness, really regarding the same. How are we going to become better leaders and drive the right behaviors and right effectiveness and maintain, or in some cases, shift company cultures in this new, more remote workforce in the kind of new normal that we're living in 2021. Additionally, diversity, equity, inclusion, and engagement is at the center of most large, small, and medium-sized companies' focal point, designing, implementing, and executing a strategy that is really woven into the DNA of the company that not only drives new metrics, but really creates a sense of belonging for the organization is of paramount importance. I think that every day for the last several days, and as I look at my calendar for several days forward, we're speaking with large companies, middle market cap companies, and even smaller private equity-owned, closely held companies about how to drive diversity, equity, inclusion, and engagement solutions in their organizations. And so the demand for highly performing HR leaders is just, unprecedented. And I think all of that really sets the stage of how TCG is evolving and changing to help our clients deliver these solutions. If you go back a few years ago, we've spent the last 20 years really becoming the preeminent targeted HR search firm, really driven by process in a very rigorous and tailored assessment sequence that we call our Christopher recruiting system. And we've been really blessed and have won a number of awards, especially recently, I think as a result of the work that we've done in that space. We were named the top HR, diversity, equity, and inclusion firm in the country. We've been named one of the top 50 search firms in this most recent Coming poll by Hunt Scanlon. And for a boutique of our size, going up against the Korn Ferries of the world to make that list of one of the top 50 executive recruiting firms in the world is something that we're just tremendously proud of. Forbes has also recognized us the last 2 years in a row. And again, I think it's really because of the process. But today, we're much more than just a targeted executive recruitment firm that specializes in HR. We're an agile HR solutions firm. We have an incredible interim HR leader business as part of our recruiting services division. We currently can place an interim HR leader, which I think is a really important solution in today's more agile environment as people are coming back to work, as they're working more remotely. I think organizations are looking for the ability to use off-balance sheet staffing to fill unexpected vacancies or to address short-term initiatives that are of great importance but perhaps don't have the longevity of requiring a full-time headcount. We can place an interim leader, oftentimes who is a very experienced professional who might just really embrace the gig economy or has retired but still wants to keep their toe in the water in any job, from an interim CHRO to an entry-level analyst, perhaps doing a Workday implementation in any location in the United States, most of Western Europe and Latin America, and we can have that person in the chair in under 2 weeks. Additionally, we give our clients many of the same customization that we offer in our targeted search product that we do in our interim leader. So said differently, they have choices. Finally, I think the endeavor that we're most proud of is the launch of our consulting services practice. I would share with you that we are trying to disrupt the marketplace of how HR consulting services are delivered with a new model. And that model is really a blend of full-time dedicated subject matter experts, as well as an army of independent consultants that have signed on to the TCG platform. And this gives us tremendous flexibility to shift our labor line and not be burdened with the overhead that all of our competitors are. One of the biggest things that consulting services firms struggle with is the cost of having consulting talent on the bench. We don't have that issue in our model. And as a result, the consulting dollars that our clients spend can go directly to hiring the most qualified subject matter expert in the initiative that they're seeking to address. And just inherently, most large big box consulting firms have a conflicted model where in their best interest to put the lowest level consultant that they can effectively put on a project to maximize the profit line. Our model is completely the opposite of that. Additionally, it's a custom bespoke service for our client. We are not married to any one-size-fits-all solution. We build every solution for our clients from scratch and really start with fixed rate pricing and work with them to understand what they want to spend, what they're really trying to accomplish, and they'll never be faced with what I call, consulting creep, where they expect that they're going to spend $75,000 on a project and it turns into $150,000, or in some cases much more than that. I think today TCG is better positioned than it's ever been to help our clients with a variety of really flexible and agile HR solutions, and we're really excited to be able to meet the incredible demand for human capital solutions that we're seeing in the marketplace. It's a great time to be in HR, and we look forward to hearing your comments from our audience on how we can potentially help you, whether you're a candidate or a client, with a initiative, project, or a critical opening that needs to be addressed.
Well, Nat, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Absolutely, Laura. Anytime. It's a pleasure. Have a great balance of the rest of your week.
And please make sure to tune in each week as we discuss the hot topics in HR.